Do you really want to stake your survival on this? Commander Nathan Hale's voice echoed across the bridge of the INS Defiance, laden with sarcasm and an unsettling tranquility. The room was enveloped in absolute silence, broken only by the almost imperceptible hum of the ship's control systems. Each member of the crew kept their eyes fixed on their terminals, although it was impossible to ignore the confrontation taking place in the center of the stage. Did humanity, on the brink of extinction, have the strength to resist a superior enemy? And more importantly, could it turn its disadvantage into a decisive victory? The answers to these questions were clear in Hale's posture. Humanity would not only survive, but would redefine the meaning of resistance. This certainty was visible in his steely gaze, a message unspoken, but understood by everyone in the room. On the screen, the figure of the alien emissary glowed. His metallic armor reflected shades of gold and red, and his compound eyes blinked wildly. Representing the dreaded Azarath Empire, he demanded total surrender. You have 2-star cycles to submit, or we will face the end of your world. Hale laughed, not out of nervousness, but out of contempt. You want war? You're about to find out what that really means. The tension on the bridge gave way to something new: determination. The promise of a commander who knew no limits. Get the ship ready, ordered Commander Hale, his voice firm but laden with unquestionable authority. Let's take the fight to them. Next to him, Captain Anders, his trusted second-in-command, a veteran marked by countless battles, stepped forward, his gaze fixed on his leader. What are your orders, sir? Hale didn't hesitate. We'll show them the true meaning of a war fought by humanity. Activate the hypermotors, arm every torpedo, and prepare every soldier. We're going straight to the core of the enemy's armada. With a firm nod, Anders smiled, a smile that carried the ferocity of someone who knew he was marching towards the impossible. Yes, sir. We'll be ready. As the crew hurried to their stations, the lights on the bridge dimmed, indicating that the INS Defiance was entering combat mode. The sounds of the ship filled the room, from the steady throb of the engines to the growing hum of the weapon systems. Hale sat down, his eyes watching the progress on the monitors. He lived for this, the absolute chaos of a battle where everything was at stake. The ship flickered slightly as the hyperdrive began. Outside, the stars stretched out in a kaleidoscope of light, and within seconds they were on the brink of the final showdown. We're not just fighting for our planet, Hale muttered, his voice cutting through the silence. We're fighting for the right to exist. The hyperdrive ended, and the Azarath fleet appeared on the screen, vast warships forming an impenetrable wall. But Hale's smile didn't falter as he shouted the order, "Open fire." May they never forget who we are. They're closing in around us, sir, Anders warned, his gaze fixed on the screen showing the tumultuous battlefield. If we get trapped, it'll be a massacre. Commander Hale let out a feral grin, a predatory glint in his eyes. Only if they manage to complete the siege. Navigation, maximum speed. Plot a course straight through the center of the formation. An instant's hesitation ran through the crew. It was an unthinkable strategy, a direct assault on the heart of the enemy fleet. But no one dared question Hale. His reputation was forged on actions that bordered on the impossible. Now, he didn't need to repeat it. The INS Defiance's engines roared, launching the ship forward. The enemy's shock was evident. Azarath cruisers moved quickly to adjust their positions, trying to block the onslaught. They're repositioning the heavy ships to intercept, Anders reported, tense. Hale smiled. Perfect. Artillery, focus on the cruisers. I want those ships disabled before they realize what hit them. The storm of plasma and ion bursts came towards them, but the Defiance deflected it with surprising agility, its precise movements confusing the attackers. Over there, Hale pointed to an opening in the enemy lines. Take us to 310 by 500. Maximum acceleration. The Defiance dived through the gap, as torpedoes tore through two Azarath cruisers, opening up enough space for the ship to advance beyond the encirclement. Emerging on the other side, the crew celebrated briefly. Hale, however, kept his focus. The line had been broken, but the real fight was only just beginning. "Get ready," he said calmly. "We're not out of the woods yet." The Defiance bridge was silent, except for the sound of alarms. "We're out of immediate danger, sir," Anders reported, trying to remain calm. "But they're regrouping quickly." Hale assessed the tactical display and replied firmly, "We don't have to face them forever. We just need to break them." He highlighted the coordinates of the enemy core, where the command ship dominated the center of the formation. "Let's go straight to the command ship," explained Hale. "Without it, the fleet falls apart." Anders hesitated for a moment before nodding. "What's the plan?" "Total focus on the target," said Hale. "Prepare to ignore anything other than the destruction of that ship." The Defiance adjusted its course, accelerating towards the heart of the enemy. The Azarath fleet responded quickly, forming a blockade. "They're trying to pin us down," warned Anders. "Divert all auxiliary power to the forward shields," ordered Hale. "Brace for impact." The ship shuddered violently as it made its way through the blockade. On the view screen, the command ship appeared, imposing and surrounded. "Artillery, prepare the solar cannon," instructed Hale, his eyes fixed on the target. "This will be our decisive chance." The Defiance advanced towards its target while the Azarath fleet launched desperate attacks. Plasma beams and explosions hit the ship, causing the bridge to shake violently. "We're in range, sir," Anders reported, his eyes fixed on the controls. Hale stood up determined. "Fire the solar cannon." The lights dimmed as energy was redirected into the powerful weapon. A massive beam of energy emerged, breaking through the enemy command ship's shields and tearing through its hull. Explosions echoed throughout the ship until its core was ruptured, triggering a monumental detonation. The shockwave spread destruction, destabilizing nearby ships. On the bridge, the momentary silence was broken by Anders. "Sir, we made it." Hale, with a firm look on his face, replied, "It's not over yet. Finish off what's left before they regroup." With the enemy fleet in disarray, the Defiance struck relentless blows. Ship after ship was destroyed, while the Azarath retreated in panic. "They're getting away, sir," exclaimed Anders triumphantly. "Pursue them," ordered Hale. "Make sure none escape." When the last enemy was destroyed, the crew erupted in applause. Hale, however, kept his focus. "We won today, but the real test is yet to come." As the Defiance jumped into hyperspace, he knew the message was clear. Humanity was ready for any challenge.